This week on Let's Talk Schools, we're talking about our successful REACH Scholarship Program, which provides promising students the support to graduate from high school and achieve post-secondary success. Hello. Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Schools. I'm Mike Looney, the Superintendent of Schools here in Fulton, and have the pleasure of being the host of this show. Today, we're going to be talking about something very exciting, the REACH Scholarship opportunities. And we have two very special guests with us. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to talk about REACH. Scott, I'm going to let you go first since you're the genius behind the REACH Scholarship Program. You manage all kinds of counseling services. Tell us who you are, what your role is, what your title is, etc.
Well, good morning, Dr. Linney, and first and foremost, thank you for having me and giving this opportunity to us this morning. So my title with Fulton County Schools is Coordinator of K-8 Counseling, and one of the things that we do oversee is the REACH Scholarship. REACH is an acronym, and as you know in education, we almost have an acronym for everything.
Have
right?
Our fair share of them, don't we?
Exactly. So REACH stands for Realizing Educational Achievement Can Happen. And REACH was started in 2012 as an opportunity to provide scholarship funding to students arising into their high school years.
So REACH Scholarship is for students that will be entering high school.
Correct.
But the funding, the scholarship money is for post-high school.
That is exactly right. So the interesting thing about the REACH Scholarship, it is awarded to a student in their 8th grade year. And not only is that scholarship dollars that come upon graduation, it comes with an advisor and a mentor through their high school years.
Oh, I can't wait to dig into this a little bit
For
further.
sure.
But I want to turn to our real star today. Farrah, will you introduce yourself? Tell us where you go to school, what grade you're in, a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Farrah Brown. I'm 13. I attend Hopewell Middle School. I'm in the 8th grade. I play volleyball, I do track. I'm part of a nonprofit group called the Power of Girls, and I was awarded the REACH Scholarship this year for my 8th grade year, and I was nominated for the scholarship in my 7th grade year.
Wow, so you obviously are a very engaged and active student. You
Yes.
focus on academics, and you're associated with a nonprofit already
Yes.
as an 8th grader, and you said that you're into athletics as well.
Yes.
Wow, sounds like you're an amazing student. I know your parents must be very, very proud of you. So Scott, let me ask you this. How do we end up nominating and selecting candidates for the REACH Scholarship Program?
Great question. So as Farrah told you, it actually happens in their 7th grade year. So our school counselors at our middle schools, they nominate. They can nominate actually. We don't really put a limit of amount of students that they can nominate. So from some schools we get 1 or 2. Some schools, I think this year we even got 5 or 6 nominations. Once that nomination happens, we go through a very robust screening process. We bring in some of our retired school counselors. We have a selection committee, and they look through those applications. They have a rubric that the state hands down to us where they score each applicant based on that rubric. So they're looking for things such as, do they have the potential to accumulate the GPA they would need at graduation? Do they have good attendance? Do they have good behavior? Are they coming with a financial need? Because REACH was founded in 2012 as an opportunity for a low-income financial assistance scholarship. So we look for all those things through that selection process, and then at that point, it becomes very difficult because on some years we have 30 plus, maybe 40 applicants. And then we narrow that down to an interview process. This particular year, we took 22 students in through the interview process, and Farrah, of course, was part of that. Super proud of her. She was our highest score interviewee that we interviewed during this process. So at that point, we take those 20 interviews, we again score them based on the interview. We bring in community partners, we bring in some of our vendors, we bring again a panel that helps us with that interview process. And then once they're scored on the interview, we go back and we look at that score they had through the application process, and that's how we determine our REACH scholars each year.
Well, Farrah, you were the highest scoring interviewee. That must feel really good to you.
It does.
I know having interviews in my background, it's always a nerve-wracking process. What was the interview process like for you?
So the interview process was I was pretty nervous at first because I'm not good with being just in front of a lot of people. But I do enjoy talking about myself, so I got the chance to do that. And when I got to talk to the people, it felt comfortable. Like, I didn't feel nervous, like, when I got into it. It just felt like I was having a conversation. I didn't want to feel forced, but I didn't. So it was actually really good.
Good, good. So let me ask you this, Farah. You're currently an 8th grader.
Yes.
Have you already started thinking about life beyond high school and what you want to do? I mean, the fact that you have scholarship money, set aside now that we've identified you as a candidate, do you have plans already?
I do have plans. I actually plan on becoming a criminal defense lawyer after I leave college. So I think I want to stay with that. But, things always change. Like, I may not have the same dreams as I do now when I'm in, like, a junior in high school or a senior. Right. But it's definitely something I have ahead of me that I am really passionate about.
So how does it feel to know that you have this scholarship going into high school, or eligibility for this scholarship going into high school already? Is that a sense of relief for you, or is it a proud point for you? Talk to me about your feelings about being a recipient.
It definitely motivates me to do better in high school, because I know that if I keep this up, if I keep good grades, then this scholarship is definitely ahead of me with my future. But I can't stop. I can't have, like, bad grades. I can't have bad attendance. It's definitely going to motivate me to try my best and do my best in high school.
That's amazing. So did you know, or did you have a goal of being a REACH scholarship, or were you surprised in the 7th grade when your teachers and others said, you know what, this student right here has a lot of potential?
I was definitely surprised. I actually had no idea what REACH Scholar was when I was in 7th grade. But when I heard I was nominated for it, I was extremely excited, and I was so thankful that my teachers and my people around me nominated me to be a scholar of this.
Good deal. So we had 22 interviewees, mm-hmm. and how many people have been are recipients of the REACH scholarship opportunity at this point?
So at our signing ceremony this year, we will be offering that opportunity to 8 scholars throughout Fulton County Schools middle schools. So from that process, we narrowed down the 22 interviews to 8 that will be receiving and doing a signing ceremony with you as well, because the parent, the student, and the superintendent of schools signs that. It's basically almost like signing an athletic scholarship signing.
Absolutely.
You sign your name on there, and you commit to, I'm going to do these certain things to hopefully, when I walk across that stage as a graduating senior, receive this scholarship and those funds.
So I don't really like talking about money, but
mm-hmm.
but obviously scholarships cost money.
Correct.
So how is the REACH scholarship funded?
Mm-hmm.
What is the value of the REACH scholarship
mm-hmm.
in today's dollars?
Well, the first and foremost, I want to just appreciate our educational foundation. Fulton Education Foundation is huge in helping raise those fundings and doing fundraisers all across our district to come up with opportunities like this. So when that money gets sent over to the state, what that looks like for a student, they would receive a $10,000 scholarship upon graduation. There are some stipulations around that, how much you can use each semester as you go off to college. And technically what that looks like is you get $2,500 each year, accumulating up to that
right.
$10,000 over your 4 years of post-secondary education.
And that would be independent of any other scholarships
Correct.
that a student might receive.
Correct.
As a HOPE or a state
Correct.
scholarship.
Exactly.
So that would be on
Yep.
top of it.
And you'd be able to use that for additional things. You know, if let's say you did receive HOPE scholarship that paid for educational funding, you could use this for additional things.
Like books and
rooming board and
that
meal
sort of
plans
thing.
and things of that
So the funding comes
mm-hmm.
from solely from the Education Foundation?
Mm-hmm. We send over a check each year to the state that funds our scholarship. And actually what I learned about kind of digging into this process, 180 of our school districts across the state are funded through and receive REACH scholarship opportunities. And we award there's actually over 4,000 students in kind of the network now that are either being awarded scholarships, going through their high school journey, or at our post-secondary school receiving those dollars now. So it's a great thing that the state started, and we're just very blessed and pleased to be honored with providing this opportunity to students.
So Farah, I know that you're very happy and you're proud and that sort of thing. Have you had the opportunity yet to meet other REACH scholarships so that you can talk to each other and support one another along the way?
I have. Actually, one of the other scholars goes to my school, and I've been friends with her for a while. It was definitely nerve-wracking for her too, but I'm so happy that she got it and she can attend with me. It's definitely a milestone for the both of us, and talking with her about it is definitely, it helps. It's, when I'm talking to her about it, I feel I'm not alone. Like I'm not scared of anything. Like, 'cause she's there with me, like it's easier to have someone there with you.
Yeah, and you're going to be able to support one another along the way, right?
Yes.
One of you struggles, the other person can help along the way. I think it's good to have that network of peers. And based on what we know, you have a peer group now across the state. You and an elite group of students that can lean on one another. And I know you have a very bright future. So let's talk about, it's almost middle of the year. You're starting to look towards high school. What are your big plans when you become a freshman in high school here in Fulton County?
I definitely want to get all my high school credits early, freshman, sophomore year. I plan on playing high school volleyball.
Okay.
For right now, that's really it. But I know I'll have some other goals and plans later.
You know, Farrah, one of the reasons we do this show is to let the public, parents, community members, and other students know about the things that are happening here in Fulton County. We're a very large, dynamic, beautifully diverse district, so it's hard to know all the things that we're offering and doing for students. What advice, what counsel would you give other students in Fulton County to say, you know what, this was my experience. This is how I might suggest you think about your future.
I would say work hard. Don't let obstacles get in your way. Things are gonna get hard. They're gonna get really hard. But you just have to keep pushing and just keep going, because there's definitely a lot headed for you in the future. So you shouldn't have a stopping point. You should just always keep going.
Well, you're a very grounded young lady, and I know that you're going to do great things. It's no surprise to me that you're a REACH scholar, and I know that as I follow your high school trajectory and career, we're going to continue to see amazing things out of you. So congratulations once again. I know your family is proud of you. Our schools are proud of you, and certainly as your superintendent, I'm proud of you. Scott, talk to us about, how do we continue to get the message out about a REACH scholarship? How do we communicate to families, hey, beginning in as early as 7th grade, we're trying to identify students that have a lot of potential, but may need a little bit of help getting to the next level of education.
Yep, and part of that is, as you said, it's just getting the message out there early and often, right? And our counselors at our middle schools do a wonderful job of that, just at parent nights and events that they have at the beginning of the school years, letting the students know the opportunities that are afforded to you. And there's a big part of that in 7th grade, where the counselors are meeting with students, getting that information out to them, getting that information home to parents to say, you have opportunities. There's some stipulations and some requirements to all different opportunities, right? But with this particular opportunity of REACH, if you meet these requirements, please make sure that your student has the opportunity to apply for something like this.
You mentioned counselors, and I know that you supervise counselors in kindergarten through the 8th grade. So I can't help but pause and thank our counselors for the amazing work they do.
For sure.
I know that the job of a counselor is multifaceted, in helping students find scholarships, and including in the middle school level, is important work.
Right.
What words of advice would you have for parents about engaging the school counselor? Because school counselors are busy, they're doing 100 million things.
Yes.
Is there some sort of piece of advice you have for parents to, if you want to know more about scholarships or opportunities, how to reach out to how to connect with the counselor and make it a relationship?
And I love that question, because I often tell my counselors that I get to supervise one of the most dynamic and great employee groups in this district, because they have a passion and a heart to serve students. Right. And you can probably even hear my voice cracking a little bit in that. I was a counselor in this district for many years, and just the plethora of things that we get to offer students and families and all of our stakeholders for support. But the thing I think is, as parents, making sure that you engage with your school counselor, they're going to do their very best to engage with you, and it's a two-way street. So engage with them. They want to advocate for your child, and they want to teach your child how to advocate for themselves. But as a parent, we are oftentimes, especially with our younger students, and as I oversee K through 8, we are our children's biggest advocate.
Right.
So to be able to engage with them and realize that they're an ally and that they do have super opportunities across this district, as you know, all the opportunities we have through the Office of Student Supports to offer students, we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of that. So the engagement piece, engage with your school counselors, realize that they're an ally.
Yeah. Scott, you do amazing work. Thank you to all the counselors that work under your supervision. Farah, it has been a pleasure to spend some time with you. Can't wait to see what you do with all the success and all the opportunities that you have before you. Thank you for joining another edition of Let's Talk Schools. I look forward to seeing you again soon. And now, let's go around the district in 90 seconds. That's it for our show this week. Let's keep the conversation going. We'd love to hear from you on our social media platforms. Join us next time on Let's Talk Schools. And as always, thank you for watching.